To everyone else and saying, I can't do it, I'll never be able to do that. Down and said, look, Nick, yes, there are things that you can't do, but don't say I can't do it. Ask yourself, how can I do it? You know, there's ways around it. You can get from one side of the mountain to another, but you don't just have to walk over it. Maybe you can go underneath it or around it, or there's always ways in achieving the same goal. The way that I've achieved in my life doesn't always look the same for everyone else. But the key to that success was I believed in myself. If someone else could do something, then I could try and work out how. It starts with believing in yourself.
The link in the video said that I believe I can. Do not let people um, do not constrain in other people's work. If people say you cannot, tak boleh berjaya. No. Okay, if you think that you're still weak in some papers, you think you're still weak in some parts, go back and do more revision. Understand or not? Believe in yourself. You can do it. Can you do it, everybody? All right. I hope you believe in yourself. Okay. Do not doubt yourself. Everybody has their own potentials. Everybody has their ada kelebihan sendiri. So if you think that you are weak in part 6, part 7, go back and do more revision. All right. Still sempat lagi sayang, sempat lagi. All right. Of course, like your bad days. Yeah, believe in yourself. All right. Okay. So we will moving on. Shall we start with the summary? Now I would like to ask. Okay. I just used yesterday's material. How many parts are there in our UPDLP? 7 parts, all right. So, which one do you think you have the most confidence in? Which part? Part 6, part 7, part berapa? Part 4, all right. So different people has different answers. So, okay, now moving on to the first part 1. It is a short text multiple choice. Okay, now I would like you to tell me, we revise, we do some revision back up. What are the techniques Miss Sally taught you yesterday? Yes, use the ruler technique. What is the first R? Read. The second, U. Underline. How about L? Look at the choices. And E. Eliminate. Cross out the wrong ones. And the last but not least, round it up. It means circle the answers. Don't forget, don't get too excited. Oh, Miss Kata ini underline, blah, blah, blah. And after that, you forget the last part, which is the circle, the round it up part. Jangan lupa circle the answers, yeah. But I'm not sure whether you need to buat dekat OMR or not lah. So I'm not sure about that one, but I think ada kali all the paper OMR. So if you have the OMR paper, once you circle, you color, the OMR. Tahu OMR kan? The one yang a piece of paper ABCD, ABC, sorry. You just color the choices you have chosen just now. All right? Okay. And then these are the questions that in part 1. Okay. I'm not going to go through in detail since we have covered yesterday. Okay. I just want you to remember, watch out for what? Tricky words. Okay, watch out for tricky words such as cannot. When you see the word cannot, no, without, accept, circle it. Because these are the tricky words that trick you. So you have to read it thoroughly. Okay, read it carefully. All right? And then moving on, check on the, okay, I think this everyone knows lah. Remember, just underline the keyword lah. Underline the keyword, go back to the pictures, go back to the passages, and you will see the answers. All right? So, time clues. When it comes to time, to look for the keyword before, after, in the morning, at 5 o'clock, and so on. All right? So I think you know what to do. Am I right? Are you confident enough to know what to do in the upcoming UPDLP? Yes. Why are you so down? Is it because it's the last day and you're sad to leave here? Oh, really? Okay, so and for the next part, don't forget, if you do not know, these are some things, if you do not know the answers, or some of the answers are confusing, okay, just do the elimination part. Okay, eliminate, and then what is left there, that's the answer. All right, sometimes maybe you're not confident, or maybe you're not, you're being tricked, or you're not confident with the answers, so you do the elimination part, all right? Okay, so this is also the keyword that should, should, would, could, should not. These are the keywords. Don't forget to circle or underline. All right, because sometimes we tend to uh, tidak nampak bah, terlepas pandang. All right. Sometimes this is also AM, PM. Some of the questions they are very tricky. Although it says 9 a.m., but it will be the next choices. It will be 9:50 p.m. So you have to look for the what do you call it? The tricky part lah. AM, PM. They will definitely trick you one. Okay. All right. Read, and read. That's it. I think you know what to do. All right. This is also the keywords. Most. What is the meaning of most? Paling banyak. Least. Paling sikit. More than. Lebih daripada sedara. Less than, the highest, the lowest. Remember all those keywords, because sometimes, like what I mentioned yesterday, sometimes they will not give you direct questions or direct answers. You have to find. It's a treasure hunt. Okay, so when they give you the word the highest, you have to know. You have to know the word. What is the meaning of the highest first? Then you go find which one is the highest. Okay, all right. So please, I want to say lah, read through lah. Okay, focus lah on the paper lah, read through. All right. Okay, moving on to the second part 2. Same, the same technique. Okay. Cuma, don't forget, you need to apa? Can someone tell me? Determine the topic. Yes, topic means apa? Tajuk. So if the topic is about beach, means you need to tell yourself, okay, this passage is about beach. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going shopping. So don't think otherwise. Don't think other things than going to the beach, right? And then don't forget to check for the tenses. Is this passage in the form of past tense, present tense, or future tense? All right. So you need to determine that. So if you are still weak in the grammar, if you still do not know, please go back and do more revisions on the tenses. All right. Especially those D, ED. Which word can determine tenses? Which word determine future tense and all that? So you have to do more practices. If you still tak faham, go back and ask your teacher. Teacher, apa ni teacher? Ask for your help. Ask for your teacher's help. All right? I believe your teacher will help you. Don't worry. All right, and then yeah. Okay, some of the grammar and the conjunction, but the contrast and all this you have to do more because this part sometimes it's more on grammar. All right, grammar is very hard, I know, but if you do more practice, I believe practice makes perfect. Have you heard of that phrase? Practice makes perfect. All right. All right. So this one, and I say passing rules. You need to know the rules. Okay, irregular tense, what do we add on? Regular. Perkataan biasa. Kata kerja biasa. Tambah apa? ED. If the word ends with E, tambah D. If the word ends with Y, I change the Y into I and add on ED. These are the rules. So go back and do more revision, okay? Masih sempat. All right. Okay, I think more or less the same. And also look at sometimes, like what I say, the words are not straightforward. So you have to know what is the meaning of the word first before you choose the best answer. All right? Okay. All right. Okay. Comprehension for the part 3. You say, this one. Remember the tips? The first question is always reflected of which paragraph? Hello, everybody. Paragraph? Paragraph 1. Well done. So, and then followed by 11, 12 will be in which paragraph? Paragraph 2. Alright? So, remember, if, contoh lah kan, when you answer the question, don't go backward. Once you have found your answer in the first paragraph, when you go to the question 11, jangan lagi cari the first paragraph. Save your time. Understand or not? Okay? Remember, you only have 1 hour and 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, to finish your exam paper. So please focus more in which section? Listening section yesterday. Which section is that? Part 6 and 7. Focus more on that. Because write more, maybe, okay? So move forward to that, drive forward to that, right? The next one will be in the paragraph 3. The last question will be in, mana sudah? Okay, faham ke tidak? These are the tips to help you. Don't forget, go back, share with your friends I learned this at the LINGUISThon. These are the tips Miss Sally taught me. These are the tips Cikgu Nicholas, Cikgu Elvis taught us. So go back, share with your friend, alright? Okay, let's see. Alright, I think, alright. And don't forget the one, the paling depan tu, what did tu. Remember the 5 wives, 1 husband. The what, the who, the where, the when, the why, and the husband. The one only husband, how. Okay? Go back to the revisions. What is what is who, what is when, and so forth. Alright? Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna go into detail. So for this part, especially the last question for part 2, part 3 again. Is this part 3? Yeah. Always look for the true factor. So when it comes to this part, for this question, please read through everything. Okay? One by one. So that you would not miss out the important points. Alright, let's part 4. Ta-da! I think you remember the tips. What are the tips here for the most important part of this? What are the tips? 2A, 2B, 2C. Remember that. Alright? When you read for, like what Miss Sally taught you yesterday, underline the keyword and then find the keywords from the passage. So once you have 2 A's, forget about A. Move. Think about B. Understand enough? If you have less than 2 A's, something is wrong. So you have to, oh my God, Miss Sally says, but I only have 1 A. If you go through everything, that the key point here is 2A, 2B, and 2C. Alright? So I think that's all from me. So remember, believe in. Yes, believe in yourself. Do more exercises, all right? Do more practices. As practice makes perfect. You will as the exam. Mark my words. All right, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Sally. Good morning, everyone, boys and girls. I'm very happy to see everyone. So I will sharing tips from, do a little bit summary for part 5 until part 7. But if you have any questions, you can just raise up your hand and ask, okay? Is everyone okay? Yeah, it looks very sad. Maybe because it's the last day of LINGUISThon, huh? Let's look at part 5. Remember yesterday I shared a few tips just to remind everyone that you have to read the sentence first, read the full sentences first, and always find the meaning and understand the meaning before filling in. Right? It is very important to understand the word's meaning. Yesterday we found there are a few students asked, what if the word had many meanings? Like for example, what was the word yesterday? Word. Let me share first, then I come back. There's a word with multiple meanings and also multiple, sorry, they have different spelling but same sound. That is also another method. But the most important part is you read the sentences first and find and try to fit the meaning into the description given. Alright? This is, I will skip this part, we already went through this part. Remember, there are only three categories, an object, a person, and an animal. So try to read more about animals. If you have, go to the YouTube, find more words. We have many YouTube videos, very good one. They share you the names of animals, share you the names of occupation in the world. So that will expand your knowledge. Now check letters and word length. Look at the first letter given. Yesterday, the games, when we discussed yesterday, we had feedback, very good feedback from all of you. Some of you suggested that we have the first letter given. We will work on it. But very good, meaning you know how to spell and you know how to tackle the part 5 question. So remember, look at the dashes, how many numbers of letters needed. If it doesn't fit, remember it's not the answer. Especially if you have to put in singular or plural form, right? Then another tips from part 5, which is eliminate wrong options. If it doesn't make sense, remove it. Only one spelling fits. Okay, next one will be do the easy one first. Remember, always go for the easy one, then go to the hard one. Right? This one I already explained. Now, part 6 and part 7, remember we have part 6 writing, short email, message or note, and then we have part 7, longer email, message or notes. Look at the marks given. Which is more important? Which one is more important? Part 7. So you spend most of your time, not most of your time, spend more time on part 7. Because that carries the biggest mark, 15 marks, right? We have the rubrics here. There's a tip there. For the past few years, email has been the choice of format. Okay, so if you can write a good email, you have no problem in tackling the exam next week, right? So believe in yourself. You've been practicing this for how many months already? Remember, recipient email address, subject, greetings. We did this in the game yesterday, remember? We have played the game before. The body, the closing, and sign off. Right? This is the important things given yesterday. What if they didn't give you the recipient email address? So come out with the email address. Can we use other than Gmail? Can we use Yahoo? Do you know what is Yahoo? Oh, good. Good. At least you know. Right. Do you know OVI.com? Oh, you don't know? Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So remember. Okay. Right. Okay, then we play the game. There are tips for this one. Keep it simple but clear. Use simple sentence. Alright? Writing more doesn't mean you get more marks, but writing less doesn't mean you get less marks. Alright? This one already did yesterday. You can go back to the game arcade and try the game. Now, answering tips, use linking words, compound sentence, first, next, then. Make, now this is the most important part. Make writing more natural and organized. Please look at the prompt given, answer the prompt in an organized way. You don't jump from the second prompt, go to the first prompt. I think if you don't understand this, you can ask your teacher later. It must have a flow. The story must have a flow, right? Manage your word count. 30 to 50 words. Too short, you lose the content marks. Too long, waste of time, don't give more marks and risk of making more mistakes. This is actually correct. Being explained by Mr. Nicholas yesterday. If you're writing more, they'll just cut off. They will draw a line, they will cut off your marks, right? Right, email to your friend. Okay, this is an example. Now go to part 7, read the question carefully. Read the question. The most important part is to read the question. Why? Why? What if I don't want to read the question? Because I'm jealousy. I don't like question. I want to be free. I want to be free. Because I'm shining. I don't want to be hiding. Yeah. Because this is an exam. You have to read the question. Alright? So underline the task word. Write a story, write a diary, write a message. Right? Underline. Underline. Most important is to underline. Remember to underline. Now, let me share with you why do we need to underline things? Why do we need to write things, sketch our idea? Our human brain consists of thousands and thousands of now, maybe I'll make it a little bit simple for you guys, right? Now, let's say I have iPhone 17, 125 gig, right? Now, my friend, Miss Sally, have iPhone 17, 2 terabyte. Which one is better? Which one is better? Which one is better? The 2 terabyte, right? True enough. True enough. Your brand is more than 2 terabyte. Your brand is more than 2 terabyte. More than that. In more advanced than our iPhone 17. But the interesting part of our brand is you need something to stimulate your brain. So when you are just reading, you are only decoding the message on the sentence. You just look at the sentence, you just read, your brain is just receiving the message as it is. But when you underline something, you are telling your brain, it is important, that's why I underline it. Please come back later and check back what I underlined. And make sure it is in your writing. Okay? Your what do you call it? Subconscious mind will do the work for you. Whatever practice you have in school, whatever class tambahan you went, whatever exercise your teacher gave you, is actually to train your brain, to work according to answer the question, without you knowing it, without even you, it's like what you call muscle memory for your brain. So when you look at the question, you underline, you straight away know what type of answer you need to give to the question. So practice actually makes perfect, right? So remember to underline or circle it or whatever you want to do it. You want to do with the word, you must make sure you have some good remarks on the task word. Underline the content point, 2 or 4 prompts, expand the point. No compulsory to include all the stimulus. Be sure to read the instruction properly. Now, plan before writing. If you need to get more papers, it is okay to ask from the pengawas peperiksaan and say, Cikgu, I want extra paper. Alright? And then you jot down ideas for each point, and then you write down which is the beginning, middle, and the closing. Okay? It's okay to ask extra paper. Huh? I'm afraid if you just write at the back of your exam paper, you have problem to flip the paper and then you forgot everything. Right? Get another paper, jot down. Whatever important tips or points you want to put inside your writing, just jot it down there. Then when you already write it, you can just cross-check with the points that you have jotted down just now, right? And avoid repeating or writing more than the word limit. Add detail to make writing richer. Learn the basic subject-verb agreement. Remember, yesterday we already did this. If you think you need more practice, go back to the games created and then explore more, right? Now, to make our email great, tips number one, given that, add adjective. Do you know what is adjective? You know what is adjective? What is adjective? What is adjective? What is the function of adjective? Well, this was asked yesterday, right? We did ask this question. What is adjective? What is adjective? What is kata sifat? You are putting a character to the yes, kata sifat. Very good. Hey, yeah, good. The boy from yesterday, yeah. Use conjunction to write at least one compound sentence. What is conjunction again? Kata. What is our conjunction, boy? Conjunction. What is conjunction? Kata hubung. What is the acronym for our most famous conjunction? It started with F. Fan boys. What is fan boys? For fan boy. For and nor, but, yet, or. Boy, but, or, yet, so. Fan boys. Remember? Fan boys. When to use or, when to use nor. Remember? If you don't know, okay, go back. We have a lot of YouTube video explaining fanboys. Very nice, very short, simple, with example. Go back and do your research. Things to avoid: no greeting or closing. Writing too little or too much, not answering the question. Right? The greeting is very simple. Don't write too long. I think a few cases we found. They wrote, I hope you are in a very good, healthy, pink, what healthy, pink, healthy. I mean, there's no problem with that, but remember we have numbers of words, limits of numbers of words. So try to make it simple and sweet, right? Using text messages language, you become you, the only letter U. Don't do that. You're not supposed to do that, and especially your I. You like to use small letter I or big capital. You're supposed to capital letter I, but you use small letter I. Remember that? Not in more, especially for the word I. I is not small letter; it's capital letter. Right? Don't use very long or difficult words. Difficult words are such as I have such a bombastic face, or I have such a don't use big words too much. You can use one or two, but not too many. Don't write everything in one paragraph. Don't forget to answer the question 2 times already. Don't forget to answer the questions, right? Don't leave out your name. Always plan first. Use friendly and polite words. Check spelling and punctuation. And we're done. Right, now, let me give you a words of encouragement, right? To all of you, especially physically, to both physically and virtually participants. There's a research done by a professor, okay? He said, even this one is already in the Netflix. If you go and find it Netflix, the title, if I'm not forget, is Brain. He's a brain surgeon, right? When he was at 8 years old, he he cannot spell correctly. He's very bad at maths and very bad at science. Until one day, the mother told him, "You are not stupid actually. You're not dumb, but you just haven't found the reason to excel." Now, as we come today this morning, as we gather here today this morning, we are here for one and only one reason. We want to be better than yesterday. The three of us, Mr. Nicholas, Miss Sally, and me, we are not so-called the expert in all these parts, but your teachers are also the expert. They know you in and out. They've been with you daily from you the first day you enter year 6, maybe from year 4. Listen to them. Listen to them. When they tell you to do your homework, do your homework. When they give you tips, you follow. Right? I know it's very boring to sit down and listen. I prefer to play my Mobile Legends games. I prefer to play my free, what do you call it, TikTok? I love to play my TikTok. I just want to scroll my TikTok. Believe me, we were there. I used to love to go to the riverbank there. They just watch all these animals and they just play the river until 3 to 4 p.m. And I don't want to do my homework when I was at your age. But believe me, one day when you look back at your life, you will be thankful to your teachers, right? That your teacher actually pushed you and hope you get a very good marks. Maybe later you will become one of our famous brain surgeons. Also, maybe become a very famous scientist and replace Dr. SMS. You know who is Dr. SMS? Do you know who is Dr. SMS? No? Sheikh Muzaffar Shukor? You don't know who is Sheikh Muzaffar Shukor? Oh, interesting. Right? Remember, the exam is only, next week exam is only a little step in your life or a little test in your life. Okay? Don't be so nervous to face it. Remember, you already practiced, you already prepared yourself, and it's time to what? To finish the exam paper. Right? No matter what happened, remember, we have the Almighty God above. We have the Almighty God above. We have our parents. We have our brothers and sisters. We have our family to take care of us. Right? They will always support us. Go back. Go back. Don't forget to pray. Remember, whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, remember, always go back and pray. This is the most important part. So that the God Almighty will calm your heart before you sit for your exam. Right? And then when you look at your exam paper, remember all the tips given by your teachers and by us and do well. Right? I wish everyone can get above 90 marks in your exam paper. I know everyone can do it. We have a few experience when we were teaching UPSR, your big brother, your big sisters, those we were not expecting to achieve. Those always fail with 10 marks, 20 marks, suddenly got B, suddenly got C. Because why? They practice, right? And they give their 110% effort, right? I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for listening. I forgot to introduce myself yesterday. If you see me next time at the shop, you can wave at me. I'm Mr. Albinus. I forgot to mention yesterday. So yeah, good luck and all the best. Thank you. So, can I have Mr. Nicholas? Mr. Nicholas?
Balance tak dah? Dah? Okay. Alright. Mun si klien ang susah. Okay.